Welcome back, fighters and nerds. Sorry, you're gonna have to bear with me here. Got a little bit of strep throat. This won't be the usual video where we're talking about Armored Combat and reviewing some film. I always think it's a good idea to take a few moments to focus your thoughts and get a clear, concise vision of what you want for any project that you're working on. I'm really making this video so that I can communicate directly with you guys and just kind of give you a vision of what I see this channel doing and some of the content I want to put out and get your input to see how excited you are for this new content because I'm very excited. If this isn't your thing and you just came here to watch some fights and to hear some talk about Armored Combat, I completely understand. This isn't a mug you really want to stare at for too long. If that's your thing, no hard feelings. I'll catch you Thursday morning for your night fight reviews. So 2 months ago, I had a need for more content and just more discussion about Armored Combat and the ACL in general. I honestly didn't know what I wanted at the time. I just went on YouTube and really saw nothing with the ACL and just had a thirst for that extra bit that really kind of leaves you once you leave the list. Like everyone has that post-fight adrenaline that they just want to keep fighting. There's no one to fight, but you just can't get the feeling of Armored Combat out of your system. In the early stages, I had delusion of grandeur. I wanted multi-camera broadcasts. I wanted live streams of every chapter match, every regional event, every national event. And really, I just wanted to travel around and just see what every chapter was up to. Of course, I quickly found out that's not possible at all, so had to scale down the vision at least a little. Initially being, kind of crippled by fear of, making something that doesn't really reflect what I want to put out, or maybe a subpar, or honestly, if you guys just didn't really like it. I kind of had that initial crippling fear, so I wanted to start small. So I figured one of the kind of easiest things I could pump out quick to, test the waters would be a weekly podcast. Now, I don't want to sit here and bash that podcast. I'm very proud of the work that Miranda, Ringo, and myself put out. I thought it was something that, it wasn't really done a whole lot. No one really took the time to sit down and talk about the events going on around the league. And I think it served a point, but at a certain time, I had to come to the realization that I didn't want to get stuck in the rut of just accepting that the podcast was the most I'm going to put out and that, my channel can be taken to that next level. I wish there was an ESPN that was dedicated to Armored Combat and would keep all the chapters up to date with what they're doing, some training, and just highlight all the events that we wish we could go to, but unfortunately, we live 3,000 miles apart and we can't always be at every single event. So with that, I got some editing programs, picked it up as I went, and really, I knew it wasn't the best that you can find on YouTube, but I just wanted to put something out, and I got really excited by the fact that I'm finally starting to produce content. I'm given something that I know I wanted and hopefully other people wanted. Now let me be clear, I'm not good at taking compliments at all. It honestly kind of creeps me out. I don't want to say creep because I've since those first few videos came out, it was about a month of content, and the reviews from fighters that I talked to, traveling around to a few different events, it was very positive, and I'm just honestly not that used to it. It was something that was really awesome, but me being my awkward self, I don't know how to handle compliments, and I didn't even really think it was all that good. I mean, of course, it's just self-deprecating vision of yourself, but that's kind of the way I lived my life, and it was kind of really awesome to see that people just wanted to watch. But this isn't really to kind of gush about how awesome you guys have been these past few months, but I want to give a vision of where I see this channel going, and hopefully you come along for that ride. So the first thing I want to introduce is I want to get an ESPN-like review of the weekend and all the chapter matches that happen in either the winter or summer seasons of the ACL. Part of that is going to be trying to get video of all the different fights, and that, of course, is going to be a task within itself that is not only going to be on my shoulders, but hopefully I can get chapter presidents, region, commanders to really help me with that and provide a product for everyone else to really see what's going on in all the chapters. With this, I'm going to be breaking down a few fights, very rough. I'm not going to go too in depth. I just want to give you, maybe a few standout fighters, some people that really tip the balance, give you the results of it and how it factors into the standings within the league and the chapter wars leagues for that winter or summer season. And really, I want to bring an aspect of sports journalism that I think is kind of lacking within the ACL. But with the list report, I really want to hone in on the stats because, I mean, this is one scenario that I have. Some of these national level events that we have, there's a lot of subplots that can happen that, some people just don't realize. So one could be that, we have a team, let's just say the DC Juggernauts. We take some of their fighters, and if we have some in-depth stats on them, we can then go forward and say, okay, on the East Coast, this is how they perform when fighting East Coast fighters. Very effective, and they're able to drop people really quick. When they go against the Plains region or, the Deep South, there's a bit of a learning curve, and it's a different fighting style, so you're going to see their stats kind of shift, and they have, some trouble putting away another region. And you can multiply that when you talk about the West Coast. You could say, against West Coast teams, the Executioners have, 13 of 20 rounds won. So you could see a huge differential from the 19 out of 20 rounds won within the East Coast. And talk about how the West Coast fighters may have the advantage on the Executioners specifically. Because maybe, they watch tape and that team just has their number. You see it in other sports where, one team will just dominate another team consistently after, season after season after season. But then they can't win a lot of the main games. And it's those kind of subplots that I really want to bring out to the Armored Combat community and just kind of validate and maybe bring a professional element to, our seasons as a whole. So with that, the list report is going to be coming out every Wednesday. Again, the goal is to highlight everything from the past week and then look forward into the next week and try and get everyone on the same page with events and things that they can tune into to hopefully broadcast live. Now, I've gotten a lot of support and a lot of love for the kind of shorter videos, about 7 to 10 minutes, trying to help new fighters get some early concepts and kind of break down the basics of Armored Combat. I want to be very clear, those aren't going away. It's just that I see the ESPN aspect and the sports journalism aspect kind of going to be where I find my niche. I'm still going to make those videos for new people, but you'll see them kind of be a little more sporadic. Usually when there's, a week where there's not a whole lot of chapter matches, or especially in between the two seasons, you'll see a lot more of them. But I don't want to say they're going away forever. Just, think of them as like a special feature. But it's not just going to be about chapter matches. Evan Ringo, the Trash Knight, he's been on this channel a bunch, and I can't thank him enough for helping me out with this. He's been a huge help and just brings so much to the table when it comes to breaking down film and really becoming in-depth with not only Armored Combat, but he also brings a HEMA background, he brings an SCA background, he brings a BOFFER background, and just brings an overall combat background that will help fighters of all levels. With that, he's going to be doing more in-depth analysis. He's going to be hopefully taking some fighter-requested videos, breaking down some of, so if you have a night fight that you just did, you think you should have won, but you ended up losing, or maybe you won, but you want to make it a more decisive win, and you just want Ringo to help break down some of those, really minute details that can, push you to that next level. That's what he does best, and he will be more than happy to make some content specifically for our viewer-requested fights. So going forward, this will be the schedule. On Wednesdays, you'll either get a list report or you'll get one of the new fighter kind of short videos. On Thursday, you can expect, while the History Channel show is still going on, a video kind of recapping the night fight episode. On Fridays and Saturdays, you can expect a video from Ringo where he'll go in depth and do a more, upper tier breakdown and analysis of either a fight or maybe a topic that he's really kind of into and wants to get across. You can definitely expect something much more geared towards the, the high-end fighters from Ringo. And then hopefully if we can get a match that we can broadcast, we'd love to broadcast as many fights as we can on Saturdays. I mean, that's really the main goal that I have for this channel. Of course, I want everyone to know that this is a work in progress, and I'm excited to take this journey with you. If you have any suggestions, or you really like an aspect of a video, or you really like something we're doing on the channel, or if you don't like something that we're doing and you think there could be something that we should be covering but you are not seeing it, please let us know. We're here to really fulfill a need for more content. So if you're not getting that content, we want to try and help you out. But at the risk of repeating myself too much and looking at this mug for a little too long, and of course my voice rapidly going, I want to thank you for watching this video and all the videos to come. Your support, I'm really not used to it, and it's gonna be something I get used to. But it's really awesome to see. So I want to thank you all for tuning in and for sticking around. So have fun and enjoy.